Hey, good evening. It's John again, playing Immaculate Grid, playing baseball Immaculate Grid, even though it's the first day of football season, because I'm not as good at football. I say I'm playing for a low rarity score, but I might play a theme game. Been getting a lot of requests for in the comments, maybe a full team. I tried to do that last week, or possibly a pitcher through right fielder, 1 through 9 type deal. We'll see. We'll see. It depends on the categories, I think, and just also my knowledge of them. But for right now, we'll default to lowest rarity score, and we'll see where this goes. So I'm going to start sharing my screen here, and we will get right into it. Had yesterday, did pretty well. 13, I think, was the or 12 or something like that was the sum total of all these guys. I could have hit a lot more Brewers. I actually hit 4 Brewers, and I could have hit Jeff Cirillo here. There are probably other options, but in any event, let's pound refresh. Let's see what we can do here. All right, so we've got 40 save season. I think we saw that one last week. It was the first time I'd seen it was last week. We've got Tigers and Mets across the top here. We got Angels, Padres, and Yankees along the side. Um, All right. Well, right off the bat, I think the first person to get 40 saves for the Yankees is probably going to be the best. Although I think this is going to be kind of a grid buster. The ones I can think of are uh the person I'm going to pick is Dave Righetti. He did it in the 80s. Um, Pretty sure he did in the 80s. Egg on my face if I get it wrong on the first try. John Wetland did it in 1996, which was the best season of Mariano's career, as I write about in my book, Baseball's Most Fun Frivolities. Link will be in the description below. I should really just keep this here so I stop reaching for it. No. Anyway, yeah, so there's them. Obviously Rivera. I believe Rafael Soriano did it the 1 year Rivera got hurt. And then I'm thinking Aroldis Chapman has probably done it, but I don't even know that one for sure. I'm gonna go with Righetti though. Although I think Rafael Soriano is a pretty good pick too. Let's see how he does. 6%. All right. Try Soriano later. Because he was like I remember when he was signed by the Yankees, like Mariano Rivera was still, the closer, but Rivera got and Cashman basically let it be known that he objected to the signing. Basically the signwriters went around him. And then he eventually ended up being the closer for a year and saving over 40 games. So let's see. How about for this one? Frank Tanana is a good pick. Um, Francisco Rodriguez will work. He'll also work here. Very prominent Angel, less prominent with the Tigers. Um, what about Gary Pettis? Played for the Angels, and Angels, Tigers, and Rangers, I think, in the 80s and 90s. I mean, his years are right there, so he gets 2%. All right. I think I've seen Tigers and Padres before. Um, and I went with Devi Cruz, and it wasn't something I was super sure on. Now I'm pretty sure about it because I've gotten it right before. I wonder if that can be beaten or if there's a better pick. Um, there might be, but I'm just gonna throw him in there. See how he does. It's a 0.2%. Yeah, I remember that one being a pretty good one. Let's see, 40 saves for the Padres. Um, Cy Young winner Mark Davis, I believe, had over 40 in 1989. Won the Cy Young Award that year. Uh, Obviously, you got Hoffman. Slightly less obviously, you've got Heath Bell. That was like 09, 2010 time frame. definitely have Kirby Yates. And I don't remember if the one year Kimbrel was in San Diego. I'm not sure if he got to 40. Um, Seems weird to go with a Cy Young winner, but I think I will. Takes 4%. And then for the Angels, I'm just Brian Harvey. He'll definitely work. That's probably who I go with. Because the others are Troy Percival and then Francisco Rodriguez. And maybe more people that I'm not remembering. I'm trying to think the last 10 years who the Angels closers have been. But I think that's who I go with. Disclaimer, I was not going to be able to go position 1 through 9, obviously, because relievers. Anyway, Brian Harvey gets 5%. Okay. So not a big grid buster, but I'm already pushing 20 here and I still have 4 more. So this isn't going to be a really low rarity score. Not today, anyway. Let's see. Tigers and Yankees. How about that guy from before, Germany Schaefer? I looked him up because he was a Cub Tiger, and there just weren't a lot of those. And it was just while I was scrolling through, it's like, that's a cool name. He played one game with the New York Yankees, also one game with the Cleveland Naps, I think they were called at that point. Um, and he played for the Tigers. So I'm gonna it feels a little like cheating because I've used him before, and it's a guy I looked up specifically because I'd lost another Immaculate Grid. I'd either I can't remember if I lost it or I just went with a super high rarity score. I think I did lose it because I didn't want to play Hobby Bias. That's what I'm remembering. Anyway, he's ticking up in popularity there. That's just ticking up there. All right. Um, Yankees and Mets, a lot of options with this one because you got David Cone, Darryl Strawberry, Dwight Gooden, all popular 80s Mets who played on the late 90s Yankees. How about for a reverse? Oh, Granderson is a recent one, fairly recent. So I think he'll be pretty big here. I think I want to say Mike Stanton works. Um, but I want to go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go actually kind of the opposite of like what a David Cohn pick will be. I'm gonna go with Al Leiter, who played his rookie season with the Yankees, or I don't even know if it's a full rookie season, for playing in a number of places and even having like a 4 or 5 year period where he didn't have any wins. I think that was when he was with the Blue Jays, but he plays first season with the Yankees. Guy's rookie card, dialing him in. Takes 1%. All right. Mets and Padres, Mike Cameron plays this game. He'll work. And then we've got how about Kevin Mitchell? I've used him a lot. He'll definitely work. I feel like there's some other really there's some more famous options that I'm not or not famous, less famous options, but options that should be up my wheelhouse. Um Going around the horn, late 90s. Edgardo Alfonso, no. Ray Ordonez, I don't think so. Olerud, no. Ventura, no. Butch Husky, no. Bernard Gilkey, no. Lance Johnson, no. I think I just did the whole lineup. Um, Randy Myers. Okay, Randy Myers, I think will work. And I also think like I want to say that got like 4% when I played it the last time with the Padres. I think I played it with the Padres and Reds or something like that, and it got like 4%, which was surprisingly high considering how briefly Myers played for the Padres. I wonder how that does and if it does better than Cameron, who also works for all three of those teams. Let's try it out. Okay, well, less than 1% this time. And for Mets Angels, oh, you know who's going to be the best on this one is Bartolo Colon. Big Sexy will get the biggest share. Pardon my pun there. But I'm gonna go with a different pitcher who's not super well known as playing with both teams, but I know did, and that's Kevin Napier. More prominent as a Royal, but he played like a season each with. He was on the '02 Angels World Series team. I think he was with the A's briefly, and he was definitely had a season with the Mets in there. So I'm going to select him, and I get exactly 20. Oh, Nolan Ryan was more popular than Bartolo Colon. All right, well, I guess that makes sense since Nolan Ryan's the all-time strikeout king. Tommy Pham taking 13%. It's pretty good. Strawberry ended up being the highest grossing person here. Rivera takes 78%, Hoffman 77%. So I was right to lean into the 1980s with my picks on these. But as you can see, there weren't that many options, but it does look like I was missing some Angels. Um, I think I hit all the Padres. I think it was the one I picked: Davis, Kirby Yates, Heath Bell, Trevor Hoffman. Yankees, I said Righetti, Wetland, Rivera. Well, and I said I wasn't. I said Soriano actually. It was, and yeah, so Aroldis Chapman never did it. All right, but I was definitely missing some Angels. So let's see where I was missing them. Brian Fuentes, I used him yesterday. He works Houston Street Works. I think I did know that actually because Houston Street had over 300 saves, which is weird because he also had like a several seasons with 20-ish, but he once got to 40, but it wasn't with the A's or the Rockies. It was with the Angels. Um, so I guess it was just those two extra guys. Okay, cool. Well, had fun today. Played a little bit of reliever palooza over here. Got four relievers and a couple starting pitchers, and then a guy with about a 65 OPS plus for his career. And then Germany Schaefer, who no one should ever have to know of, except if they get burned by Cubs and Tigers in Immaculate Grid. So that's why I know Germany Schaefer. Anyway, thanks a lot for playing along. Keep up the comments. Love seeing everyone's scores and what unique things you guys come up with. I know some people are going to beat me on this one too. So just keep it coming, and I'll be back at it tomorrow. Peace.